Hey everybody, Andy Demi here. So, as you guys know, tomorrow is the general election, and in the US, of course, and it's really, really tight at the moment. Really, really tight. And I believe that this election is going to make a huge difference in what happens in the markets in the short term, for sure. Possibly in the medium to long term as well, but certainly in the short term. Now, right now it's kind of neck and neck, and on the one side you have Trump, who is pro investment, pro crypto, for example, and then on the other hand you have Kamala Harris, who is not so pro these things. So how am I interpreting this? Well, I think, like, for me, when we're looking to make investments, for right now, this is an unknown entity. We don't know what's going to happen. So, in my opinion, when I look at when I look at the dollar, when I look at Bitcoin, I'm thinking to myself, well, if Trump wins, then I think naturally it's kind of risk on. People are much more likely to buy risky assets in America because the conditions are much more favorable with a Trump win. Okay, lower taxes, much more easy to invest. He's basically for it. So I think that we will automatically get a boost in things like cryptos and Bitcoin, okay, and other risky assets, including the stock market. So, we can have a little look. Let me bring in and see what's happening. So right now, this is the Dow Jones. It has been selling off since the 17th of October. And if we just kind of make this chart a little bit bigger, at the moment, it is a pullback, okay? Now, I don't necessarily think that if Trump doesn't win, that we're going to have a big crash. And certainly, I would say, that the U.S. stock market, both the S&P and the Dow Jones, is probably overinflated. It's gone up a lot, so I think ultimately it needs a correction. But what I'm more interested in is the short term. What is going to happen in the short term? And I'm very interested in Bitcoin because I'm invested in crypto. I'm invested in Bitcoin. And I'm wondering right now what is going to happen in both cases. Now, for me, I'm happy with whoever wins, right? Because some people are kind of really, really hoping for a Trump win because they think that Bitcoin is ultimately going to break, these highs, these all-time highs. We basically got very, very close, but it didn't quite go. And, everybody that's already invested wants a Trump win. Well, I don't want to say everybody, but people that are more worried about their crypto portfolio than anything else would prefer a Trump win. Because I think, especially when you see here, this market is pulling back right now. And naturally, when something is pulling back, the news that happens will normally propel it. So normally it's kind of, this is pre the news, and then the news comes out, and then it does kind of the opposite. Not every time, but that's certainly possible. I think when the elections are going on, there could be some volatility, some speculation who's going to win. So there might be opportunity. Now, what I like to look for, because there's a lot of manipulation that goes on. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of big players, institutions, wealthy players that can move the markets. If you want to buy Bitcoin cheap, then the kind of rumors that you want to put out there is that Trump is losing, right? Before he's lost. What will happen if something like that happens is most likely, obviously it's a speculation, is Bitcoin will go down. Other risky assets will go down. And that creates a potential opportunity. So let's say, for example, if we were looking at this from an institutional point of view, well, what I'd be thinking is, where are the stops sitting? Well, naturally, this area here, where people have bought here, this is a natural place to place stops. So this is the first target, and you can see we actually have this really nice line here. This is the first target that I would go for to basically liquidate these stops. So the people that have bought now have to sell, and guess who they're selling to? They're selling to the people that want to accumulate Bitcoin cheaply. Okay. Now, if this kind of this thing could be like rumor, and then let's say Trump wins and then bounce. Okay, something like that. Or it could also be, if we just draw another scenario, it could also be something like, hey, why look at this really big bar here. Okay, again, naturally, this, look at the support and the resistance that we have here. This is a really great liquidity zone right there, just below 62,000. And you can see here, everybody can kind of draw this resistance line here. Everybody's aware of it. So why don't we take that out as well and really, really push through and take out these lows, and then maybe find some support around here, maybe even take out that trend line, and then the market goes up. Look, I believe we're in a bull run. I believe that cryptos are going to go up no matter who comes into power. But what it can represent is a short-term opportunity to acquire the asset that you're interested in at a cheaper price. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get fearful, because in my opinion, whoever wins, ultimately, I think Bitcoin is going to go higher. This is not financial advice, of course. This is just my opinion. So I'm looking at this as like saying, well, if there's rumors that Trump is losing, we could use that as an opportunity to buy. If it actually becomes factual that he does lose, maybe we get a deeper pullback. But then what really should happen, if the market is logical, is to say, well, hold on a minute, Bitcoin should still be going up. We're just after the halving. So naturally, we should be buying it anyway. Now, what we might get is a bigger opportunity, because maybe we'll get a bigger drop. Maybe we could even break down through 60,000 and find this really nice level of support. This here would be, for me, an amazing buy zone, okay, for the long term. Not saying this would be the low or anything, but if we did get some kind of big drop because Trump lost and everybody panicked, because look online, everybody's saying, oh, Trump has to win, because otherwise crypto's doomed, right? That is fear-mongering. That is to scare you out of your position. Everything that is said online from people with power, I don't want to say everything, but a lot of what is said is with the intention of helping, of getting you out of your position. Okay? Don't trade with leverage. Only invest what you can afford, and don't let them push you out of the market. Okay? Whether this happens now, which I believe it will, end of the year 2025, or whether it happens later, for me, this is a solid investment. I have got my money invested in this. So I wanted to share that with you, give you my thoughts, give you my insights, but most importantly, to prepare you for what could happen in all scenarios, whether it's rumors or whether it's the actual event that actually happens. But ultimately, I think whatever happens, I think this will break its all-time high, whether it's this year or the start of next year. I believe it's happening. I'm more confident that it's going to happen before the end of the year, that we'll be breaking into new highs, going towards 100,000. All right, guys, hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and take care. Have a good one, guys.